Welcome to an overview of the MAPS investigation. In this investigation, you're trying to figure out how to respond to the question, which map should we use in schools? Today, as you begin learning about maps, instead of memorizing names and dates from a textbook, which is really hard and not particularly interesting, you will instead read and hear several different perspectives. You'll discuss with your classmates, and then make your own decision about what it all means. Read.Inquire.Write lessons are called investigations. Throughout each investigation, you're looking for evidence to figure out how to respond to a central question. You'll notice that our investigations never say, answer a central question. Instead, you'll hear us ask you to respond to a central question. That's because we believe there is not one right answer. There could be multiple answers. So we want you to respond to the question with evidence. Read.Inquire.Write investigations support you in building a case for your argument using evidence and reasoning. Over time, this kind of work will strengthen your reading, writing, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. In this investigation, you're trying to respond to the central question, which map should we use in schools? In thinking about our central question, which map should be used in schools, it's important to understand that there are different reasons for making maps. For example, the map on the left shows animal species that are going extinct, and the map on the right shows the most popular sports across the world. These maps serve different purposes. For this investigation, your task is to write an email to the Secretary of Education. Make an argument about which map should be used in schools. You will use evidence and reasoning from the investigation to support your response. You will write an interpretation-style essay. Remember, an interpretation-style essay is a type of essay that helps you share what you think about the question based on evidence. Our investigation will guide you step by step in developing your response. Let's review those steps now. First, you'll begin by building background about how maps can be different when they are created for different reasons. You'll also learn why those differences are important. Finally, you will also consider the concept of perspective. Next, your teacher will provide you with different sources to read about the different types of maps. You'll use these sources to determine which map should be used in schools. To help you read these sources, your teacher will provide you with this bookmark. The bookmark tool will help you understand, analyze, and evaluate sources about the different types of maps. The bookmark prompts you to make annotations, or detailed notes, about the sources. You'll do this as you read and after you read. For example, in this source, you can see that a student has circled important information about when this map was created and who created the source. Making these annotations is really important because they will help you remember key ideas in the sources. This way, you don't have to try to remember everything or have to reread everything later. Instead, these annotations will make it easier to explain which map should be used. In step 3, you will weigh the evidence presented in the sources about the different types of maps. You will begin by sorting the sources based on your understanding. Then you will construct and discuss the arguments based on what you have learned from these sources. Then in step 4, you will read and analyze a mentor text, similar to the type of interpretation you will write about which maps should be used. A mentor text is a sample of writing that shows you one way to organize and write an interpretation-style argument. It includes important parts such as claim, evidence, and reasoning. It's a good example of the way you can structure your own response about which map to use. Just remember that the mentor text is not exactly what you'll write, and it is not a source. The mentor text is one example of what your essay might look like. Next, you'll use the planning graphic organizer. The graphic organizer is like a roadmap for your essay. It helps you organize your ideas about which sources are most reliable for learning about maps, and it will prompt you to give evidence and reasoning to support your argument. You will use all of the work you've done so far to help you develop this roadmap. You'll look at your annotated sources, you'll determine what argument you think is strongest, and then make decisions to plan the essay you'll write. Then in step 6, you're ready to write your email and respond to the central question, which map should we use in schools? Be sure to use the sources you have read to write your response and choose the weakest argument. We know it's sometimes difficult to start writing. That's why we also include a useful language tool. You can look at this tool to choose from examples of how to start your claim, evidence, and reasoning. Finally, after you have spent some time writing, pause to use the reflection tool. The reflection tool will help you review what you have written so far and set goals for your next steps. The reflection tool reminds you about what to include in your argument. Let's review quickly the 7 steps you'll take throughout this investigation. 1. Build background. 2. Read and analyze sources using the bookmark tool. 3. Weigh the evidence. 4. Analyze the mentor text. 5. Complete the planning graphic organizer, deciding on the argument you will make. 6. Use the useful language tool as you draft your essay. And 7. Review and improve your essay using the reflection tool. As you work through the investigation, make sure to talk with your classmates and others who can support you as you learn about and respond to the central question, which map should we use in schools? Good luck!